Is it time for an altcoin rotation? Finally. Bitcoin has done its thing over previous months, exactly like it was supposed to do over the past few years. It's been a while. ETH is finally starting to do something. Vitalik's back, baby. So the next question is, what about the rest of your altcoin bags? Traditionally, if you can really use that word, anything crypto related, the rotation pattern has been relatively well known. Alts pick up flows after BTC and ETH, and although holding alts has sometimes felt like getting kicked in the balls relentlessly, the good news is that there are some strong indications that altcoins could be about to have their turn in the spotlight. So here are the 5 signs that I am personally watching that could signal altcoins are going to outperform versus Bitcoin. The number 1, of course, is Bitcoin dominance on the monthly. This matters because when Bitcoin dominance falls, it typically means that money is flowing into altcoins, not out of crypto. And not necessarily out of Bitcoin either, just less money is going into Bitcoin. And it goes into other assets. We're seeing the first signs of rotation starting to build up. Take a look at the monthly BTC dominance chart. There's a clear rejection from around the 60 to 65% zone, a key level going back to the period from mid-2019 to early 2021. And here's a key shift. That long uptrending support level has been broken. So while we had a clean trend of higher highs and higher lows from December 2022 through to June of this year, an unprecedented gargantuan run, you can see that as of this month, that structure is gone. The current candle has broken below the trend line and is closing with strong downside pressure. And look at the last time dominance dropped below the current levels. That was back in 2021 when it plummeted from this range. Altcoins therefore rocketed up in price afterwards. And of course, I don't have a crystal ball. There's no future guarantees, but if history rhymes, we could be heading in a similar direction. Majors and basically everything else will pump if dominance trends hold, putting in huge multiples and sticking with Bitcoin dominance. The second sign that's developing for Bitcoin dominance is, well, before that, guys, if you're trading the cryptocurrency markets, a great place to do that is over on Femex, OG cryptocurrency exchange. They've been around 4 years and they have some insane deals for you right now. If you deposit $200, you're gonna get $50 back after you make your first trade. There's also crazy trading bonuses, $800 plus 1 Solana for top trading volumes. Plus they're doing 5 different winners who are each gonna get a Solana each. Now this is available everywhere, by the way, so it doesn't matter where you live, you're able to trade over on Femex. You might need a VPN in some cases, but go check it out. There's a link down below that'll get you those exclusive sign-up bonuses and benefits. Go check it out. Thank you very much. Second sign, the bearish crossover on the MACD. So if you zoom in on the MACD here on the monthly, and it looks like a bearish crossover is playing out right now, which is mega bullish for altcoins and not as bullish for Bitcoin, let's say. MACD crossovers on the monthly don't happen often, but when they do, they tend to stick for months and often signal a major trend shift away from orange coin into everything else. Now, the histogram here shows that momentum currently is fading, and if this crossover confirms the monthly close, it will mark the first big momentum change since early 2022, so it's a signal that perhaps worth paying attention to. Historically, when we see this kind of MACD behavior, especially at the end of an extended uptrend like has happened now, it tends to precede a longer term correction, something that's going to play out over many months. And in this case, it suggests that Bitcoin dominance is about to trend lower for many months moving forward. Or in other words, we are about to get the prime setup for altcoin outperformance. The third sign, also related to Bitcoin dominance, is an RSI Sell Signal. Basically, this reinforces everything that we have just talked about, especially as this isn't some kind of random oscillator dip, okay? We are talking about the monthly RSI, which tends to be a more reliable indicator on shorter time frames and which also dipped bearishly back in 2021, the last period when we had an absolutely manic, crazy altcoin season. Right now, the RSI line is rolling over and heading lower. And if this movement continues into the monthly close, that'll be a third historical matchup here, and we'll have the RSI losing strength, though dominance overall has just lost its bullish structure, with momentum fading, was MACD flips bearish, all of which signposts that it's time for rotation into altcoins. But our signals are not only the Bitcoin dominance chart, as the fourth metric to keep track of here is the ETH BTC ratio, which has been breaking out. And look, ETH has been kicked in the balls relentlessly this cycle, but it's finally starting to do something. This ratio is waking up, and it's a strong signal, as after a long and painfully slow bleed from the 2022 highs, during which it seemed like the whole of crypto was dunking on ETH for fun, Ethereum on the monthly here has finally broken out of a downtrend and is challenging a key level around the 0.04 mark, a price zone that can flip to support if it gets broken through emphatically. Also, this potential breakout is happening right as there's a very strong and very bullish mainstream narrative developing around Ethereum, which is being pushed at an institutional level as the foundational network for stablecoins and real-world assets. And this is with ETH treasury companies and spot ETFs soaking up flows. And this is all critical because when Ethereum gains strength against Bitcoin, it is a leading indicator for broader altcoin rallies. Ethereum is taking the lead and it's opening up breathing room for everything else that's not Bitcoin to rally. So whether or not you're holding Ethereum yourself, you should still be rooting for it to make new all-time highs. Plus, the timing here is perfect. With Bitcoin dominance breaking down, while ETH BTC reclaims key levels, again, suggesting that capital is rotating, it's seeking more risk. And that means we could be looking at the early stages of an ETH-led market rally. And so finally, the fifth important sign that I'm watching is to be found on the Ethereum monthly charts, particularly the ETH Monthly MACD. You can see here that the MACD indicator is making a bullish crossover for the first time in years, okay? It's a long time. Makes it all the more significant here, okay? And it's definitely something that I'm not fading. That means the last time this indicator flipped from red to green was back in mid-2020. That was a very important time because mid-2020 is when everything started going up exponentially and rallied basically for a year straight. We may now be seeing that exact setup for me again, and keep in mind that this is coming after a deep and prolonged downtrend, which gives more strength to the signal. The takeaway from that is that we're looking at a long-term momentum shift rather than some kind of short-term bounce, and it's happening from deeply oversold territory, reflecting that the whole period this cycle when ETH was out of fashion is now coming to an end, and launching from this deep value base adds even more potency to the signal. And by the way, the last time this happened in mid-2020, ETH then entered an uptrend all the way through until December 2021. It ran from $225 to $4,800. I'm not saying that's the exact price it's going to repeat. It's not going to repeat that price action necessarily, but it's the kind of indicator that says things are probably going to get heated up. And as mentioned, we have altcoins running up hugely too. So combine this with ETH BTC breakout, and you're looking at a double confirmation that Ethereum is waking up and momentum is flipping in its favor, which means momentum is flipping in the favor of altcoins more broadly. ETH pumping, even if you don't hold ETH, you should be rooting for it to pump because guess what? It probably means good things for your altcoin bags. Thanks for watching.